our next bout is another Tie Rules kickboxing bout. It's presented by Tennessee Top Roller. It's Beattyville, Kentucky's Nick Jewell, his debut at Tie Rules kickboxing, taking on another Bullman's kickboxing fighter, Wes Monarch, who is 1-1 right here in Knoxville, Tennessee. We are ready to bring our fighters out. Back to Jennifer.
Our next bout of the evening is an amateur Muay Thai kickboxing bout in the middleweight division, contested at 185 pounds, brought to you by Tennessee Top Roller. First, please welcome to the cage, Nick Jewell.
Nick Jewell, first out, debut out of Lee Kickboxing Academy in Beattyville, Kentucky. Casey, tell us a little bit about Nick Jewell.
Man, what a character Nick Jewell is. And, of course, we saw him back at the UMAV Nationals. And that's one guy, he faced John Hall, who is, of course, the Valor Fights champ. And he was one of the top-tier guys in that tournament. Nick Jewell suffered the loss, and it was a submission loss. But, man, he fought his heart out. He was a little outsized there in that fight. You see he's fighting at 85. That was at 205. John Hall was unable to continue, and Nick Jewell jumps back in the very next night and competes in the finals. And so it just really goes to show that Nick Jewell is so tough, and this is a guy that comes to bang. Really tough and rugged, and I think this is one that I've talked about. He and Wes Monarch is going to be one that a lot of these fans remember.
Well, let's talk about Wes Monarch. We just saw his teammate Stephen Tanner from Bullman's Kickboxing here in Knoxville pick up the victory. What do you think about Wes Monarch?
Well, when I see Wes Monarch, I saw him come into the arena the first time I met him. I thought that he was maybe a media guy, or he was somebody that was working in the office or whatever. You wouldn't expect it. And then next thing I know, he's up there in his trunks, and he is such a destroyer. He moves forward a lot like his teammate Stephen Tanner. Like, this is a guy who uses excellent fundamentals, moves his head, puts his hands together with his feet extremely well. A very, very aggressive fighter. And I think it's a stark contrast to Nick Jewell's kind of unorthodox craziness. And for that reason, I just think this one is going to shine.
Valor Fights 47, Knoxville Civic Coliseum. Vince Ferrara, Casey Oxendine, and Doug Usher here cage side. And we're excited about our main event tonight. Jason King against Stephen Hague. Our co-main event, another pro MMA bout. Keith Olson taking on Alex Riggs. Many popular fighters like Shamir Peshewa and others from Knoxville, from the great camps, KMAA, Shield Systems, Bullman's Kickboxing, which includes Wes Monarch. To bring out Wes Monarch is Jennifer.
And his opponent making his way to the cage. Please welcome Wes Monarch.
Wes Monarch, as we mentioned, 1-1 out of Bullman's Kickboxing here in Knoxville. And he's a guy that Casey, when you're talking about Monarch, you think about his skill sets and what a fighter like him would look like. He looks like a fighter that trains at Bullman's Kickboxing, right?
Right, absolutely. Well, like I said, he worked at the Knoxville News Sentinel originally, and so he's a guy that, like I said, he's in his suit and he's composed and all that. But when that cage door shuts, it's a different Wes Monarch, man. He is on fire, and you can already see him kind of getting pumped up. But you're right, Terry Bullman, he's a legend around these parts, and rightly so. Very, very tough and rugged, extremely technical, and what an honor to be around the guy. A class act. Anybody that trains there is really getting top quality training.
Take a look at the tail of the tape in this Tie Rules kickboxing bout in the middleweight division at 185 pounds, presented by Tennessee Top Roller. You see Nick Jewell, 5 years younger than Wes Monarch. Two pretty tall fighters. Jewell an inch taller. Monarch has the two fights. Jewell weighed in at 183 pounds, Monarch at 186 for this 185-pound middleweight bout. Part of Valor Fights 47, live at flowcombat.com. Great to have you with us as Wes Monarch steps into the cage. To introduce our fighters, Jennifer.
This bout is scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds. First, fighting out of the red corner, he weighed in at 183 pounds. Fights out of Lee Kickboxing Academy in Beattyville, Kentucky. And tonight he is making his Muay Thai kickboxing debut, Nick Jewell. And his opponent across the cage to my left, fighting out of the blue corner. He weighed in at 186 pounds, holds a record of 1 win with 1 loss, and fights out of Bowman's Kickboxing in Knoxville, Tennessee, Wes Monarch. Your referee when the action begins is Barry O'Neill.
Barry O'Neill, our referee for this Tyrol's kickboxing bout. Middleweight bout at 185, presented by Tennessee Top Roller. Nick Jewell in the black and yellow trunks. Wes Monarch in the orange trunks. 3 2-minute rounds is what we're scheduled for. Barry O'Neill looks at both sides and says fight. They touch gloves, and we're underway here at the Knoxville Civic Coliseum in downtown Knoxville.
Here we go. Wes Monarch fires off, and it appears to be low.
First strike, low blow. Wow.
Vicious.
Doug, you'll be thinking of Casey if in your next fight this happens to you.
Sorry to jinx you, man.
Yeah. that was a powerful roundhouse kick too.
Wow. Let's take a look.
Our apologies to Wes Monarch and his fans to Nick Jewell and his fans to see that.
In Monarch's defense, Nick did raise his leg. He had raised his leg, and Monarch went right underneath. So had he not, it would have been the left leg of Nick Jewell. So completely unintentional. And I know it hurts because that was right on point.
So early on in round number 1, we have Nick Jewell, who is not going to take his full 5 minutes. He says he's ready to go. Barry O'Neill trying to keep the fighters a little bit apart as we restart, but they're both antsy and ready to go. Touch gloves, and here we go.
Oh, here we go. Monarch landing big leather. Nick Jewell fires back.
Oh,
wow! Big kick!
Wow!
Nick Jewell with the knockout!
What a head kick!
Unbelievable!
Monarch, let's see, it's not over yet. They're giving Monarch the count, but I thought he was out on his feet initially and then took another shot. And Barry O'Neill checking on him.
Okay.
And they're going to keep this, they're going to restart this fight.
Yeah, he has the right to make the count, and he can stay in it, but he's getting popped there, man.
Monarch in the trouble.
And
he's out. He is out.
Down he goes.
Wow, he's taking a lot of punishment here. Barry O'Neill counting him, but
Wes Monarch is in rough shape here.
Yeah, guys, he was still rocked from that first exchange. He's not all there.
I don't think he's defending himself here fully here. And we're back underway, and Jewell.
He's in deep water, and again.
No. Wow.
Another big shot, but Wes Monarch continues to fight. I don't know how he's still standing here.
Unbelievable. No headgear and a low blow.
And again, inadvertent there. Another time where Nick Jewell had his leg up in the air. Man, this is one of the most exciting fights I've seen. Nick Jewell's waving it off. He wants to get in here and finish this fight, I believe.
Yeah, he didn't want to give Monarch the opportunity to regather.
We still got 17 seconds, and I'll tell you this is the best thing Monarch can do.
Oh, wow.
But wow.
A slam.
Well, you know, it was kind of a trip, but he kind of scooped that knee under and caused Monarch to take some air.
Wow.
This is undoubtedly one of the most exciting matchups of any sort of combat sports I've seen in a long time.
And no headgear, Casey.
Yeah, this is advanced rules.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
and again, down he goes, and that has to be it 3 times.
It is over.
And the fight is done. Nick Jewell with the win here.
Unbelievable. And Wes Monarch quickly checked on the accuracy, the power, and the consistency of the strikes, especially to the head, by Nick Jewell. Gets him a win in his Tyrol's kickboxing debut. And Casey, here's a replay.
Yeah, and there it was. That was the first knockdown here. You see the head kick followed up with that right hand. This is undoubtedly the best Nick Jewell has ever looked. And of course, this is his debut in kickboxing. I will say this, Wes Monarch is no one to to look down on. This is like one of the top tier guys coming out of Bowman's. He is unbelievably tough, and he showed it there to keep getting up. But Nick Jewell just looked on point tonight.
You saw the first knockdown, which was vicious, and Monarch was able to come back. Here's the second one, Case.
Yeah, there it is. And you see he rattled him, and he followed it up again. Nick Jewell follows it up with those punches, and I'm sure we're going to get the third one. The third one, I think it was just a clean head kick.
We'll do that momentarily. Back to the cage to make it official. Here's Jennifer.
Your referee stops this bout at 1 minute and 50 seconds into the first round for your winner by way of knockout, Nick Jewell.